Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video today, and I think it's a pretty exciting video. I mean, I feel like I say that about all my other videos, but nonetheless, I found this little gem at my local Walmart. This is the Wet n Wild, the 40 palette. It doesn't really have like a name or anything. It really just is called the 40 palette. It obviously has 40 shades in it. And this is like the unicorn that it comes in. I think it bears a similar resemblance to a palette we all know, but we're not gonna get into that in this video. If you want to see what kind of eye look I come up with this palette, then keep on watching. Okay, so we have the palette here, and it is of course in just standard packaging. So we're gonna open her up. As you can see, it is sealed here, but I went ahead and just cut it open to save some time. Then we're gonna take it out of the box. And it comes in this black cardboard to protect the palette. So the palette on the front matches the actual box. So there's not really a difference there. I'm excited. So let's go ahead and open this up. Ooh, look at that. Of course, we have a plastic protector here. No mirror, which is fine. But oh my god, did I even tell you the price of this? This was $14.99 at Walmart. This was actually the last one. My boyfriend actually pointed it out to me, and I was like, I need to have it. So this is what $15 gets you at Walmart. You can see again, we have the little plastic protectors on the side. We're gonna take the plastic cover off. We're gonna keep that, actually a pretty sturdy plastic cover. And as you can see, a couple of the shades are kind of, you know, spread out onto the pan, which is pretty normal. That happens with, you know, higher end eyeshadows too. But a couple of them are kind of, it's more the metallic shades. Like you can really see it like on this one right here. As you can see, it's kind of like spread out through there, but that doesn't really bother me. I mean, this is a pretty hefty palette, isn't it? Of course, these do not have any names. I don't think Wet n Wild actually names their eyeshadows. I might be wrong on that. But I remember back in the day, they used to have those quads that said like lid, crease, something else, maybe brow bone or something, I don't know. But I don't think they've actually ever had like shade names, and this is no exception. And there's not on the plastic covering either, so I'm guessing these weren't named, which is completely fine by me. We have pretty much every color in here. We have a nice matte white, of course, a matte black, all the neutral shades you could need. We have a little bit of like these blue-greeny shades here. Oop. And then we have like these plummy shades over here, this purple, this pink. We have a lot of variety when it comes to this palette. So like these metallic shades and these shimmer shades look amazing just on first glance. Like this like blue teal looks amazing. Honestly, just by looking at this palette, I don't know what I want to do. I know I want to dip into like a lot of the shades, but I don't know what to do. Looking at this palette, I see this like shimmer shade here. This is like a orange shade with like gold reflex in it. This is really pretty. I wouldn't mind putting that on. So I think we're gonna do like a nice like orange kind of look. Maybe dip into some red, maybe dip into the yellow a little bit. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer, and then we're just gonna start on the eyes. Okay, so here we are, nice and close. And as you can see, I have some breakouts going on, and this is probably not the time to be filming this video, but I really wanted to, so just ignore that. I'm broken out. It happens. Just let me live my life. I'm actually going to put a little bit of concealer on my lid. I'm going to take the Clinique Line Smoothing Concealer in medium and just put that all over my lid. Then I'm just going to blend it out with this really nice flat brush. Okay, so I have primed my lids with concealer, and now I'm going to move into the first shade, which is going to be this one right here. This is just like a nice neutral light color. I don't really want to dip into the white because I don't want it to be too stark. So I'm just going to take that on this little Wet n Wild flat brush, and I'm just going to pack that color from my lid to brow bone, which is going to set the concealer before it creases. Not a lot of fallout on this shade, but it is one of the, you know, lighter shades, so they tend to not have a whole lot of fallout anyway. So now I'm going to take my JH35 brush. This is just a nice tapered blending brush. I'm going to take this brown right here so we can start building the crease. So as you can see, the brush is nice and coated. I'm barely tapping in. So we do have a little bit of fallout with that shade. I don't know if you could see that, but we are fully coated, so I'm not really worried about it. So like I said, we're gonna run that through the crease. And this is going to be, I think, pretty much close to my skin tone. So it's not going to show up really well, but what this is going to do is it's going to help lay down a color. Before we go into that orange, it's going to help it blend everything nice and soft together. Okay, so that was nice and easy. Now we're going to dip into this matte orange right here. It is pretty bright in the pan. I'm actually just going to take the same JH35 brush and I'm going to dip right in. Oh wow, so that is fully coated. That is really pigmented. Not a lot of kickback in the pan. Now I'm going to take this and start working it into the crease where we added that other color. Oh yeah, look at that, already like pay off. Wow, this is blending out super easy. That's really pretty. So I have full color payoff with just like one, well maybe like 2 dips in. So I'm just gonna go in, take a little bit more product on the brush, and I'm going to kind of stamp it on to kind of build up the color a little bit more. Now that I have the orange blended where I want it, I'm going to take this tiny JH37 brush. I'm now going to dip into this yellow color here. And I'm just going to go right on top of that orange and blend them together to get a nice gradient and blend. This yellow is actually not as pigmented as I thought it'd be. Now I'm going to take this JH30 brush, which is a fluffier blending brush, and I'm going to tap into the red just a little bit. And I'm mainly going to focus this red on the outer edge. So I'm just going to stamp it on. Oh, that red has a lot of pigment. Oh yeah, actually this is exactly what I wanted. So I just wanted to deepen up that orange with a little bit of red. Now I'm going to go back with the JH35 brush, dip back into that orange, and just go right on top of that to make sure we didn't lose any of that original orange color. Now for the part that I'm most excited for, I'm now going to dip into the orange metallic shade. I think I'm just going to use my finger. Feels very creamy, very smooth. Yeah, that is really pretty. I'm just going to go right on top of that. Okay, so that actually didn't go on too well with my finger. Instead, I'm actually going to take this RT Elite Circle 3. So I'm going to pick up the product on this instead. And I'm going to try it first like this. And if I have to, I'll wet it. So that brush didn't really give me the payoff I was looking for. I'm now actually just going to grab this Clinique concealer brush so it's nice and flat. Okay, so now I picked it up on the brush. So I do want to show you the pan of this shade. So as you can see right here, it has almost like self-sealed itself. I mean, I was just digging into it with my finger first and then the brush, but it almost like, I guess, turned, yeah, it almost like self-sealed. It feels very just like dry now. I mean, I might have to scrape it or something, but the pigment still comes off. It is a very pretty shade, but I feel like it is like a little dull. So again, I'm gonna pick it up. So I have pigment here. I'm gonna wet it once again. So I'm gonna pat it and not rub it. See if I can get more pigment that way. Yeah, I kind of just get the same outcome. The pigment kind of looks the same either way, but I mean, it still looks really pretty. I do really like the shimmer shade. I mean, it definitely sparkled more in the pan than it did on the eye. Now I'm actually going to go into this little highlight shade here, and I'm going to put this in my inner corner. And I guess, yeah, I'll put on my brow bone too. I'm going to take that on my JH38 brush. It's just a really tiny detailer brush. Automatically, this one has way more fallout than the orange shade. So I guess the orange shade must have been pressed pretty hard. I did spray it with some setting spray. So now I'm going to put it in my inner corner. Oh, yeah. So this one definitely has way more pigment and actually is a lot more white than I thought. I thought it was going to be a little bit more champagne-y, I guess. But it'll work. I mean, that color payoff is crazy. I barely, like, look at that. That just, like, goes on. Wow. Okay, so that white metallic shade is definitely not like the orange metallic shade. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to dip into this more rust copper shade. And I'm going to focus this kind of like on the outer edge. So I'm not going to use my finger. I'm actually going to take just another little flat brush that I have here. This one does have more fallout than the orange shade does. So it is coated. So now I'm just going to put this more on the outer edge. I mean, it's a little hard to tell because I already have the red there. I can tell that it has really good pigment. So I am pretty happy with the eye look that we have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera. I'm also going to do my liner and lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have lashes on. I put on a little bit of liner. I did my eyebrows off camera. And now we're going to move on to the complexion. So for primer, I'm going to use the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. It's an anti-blemish and mattifying primer. Oh, actually, I thought this was going to be more glowy. We're just going to put that on. Oh, so it's actually like a gray color. Great. I hope this just blends out and not stays like this. Oh yeah, blends out clear. For foundation, I'm going to take my faves. This is the Stila Hide and Chic Fluid Foundation in Tan 1. And I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Foundation in 300. And we're just going to do a nice little cocktail. So I'll take 2 pumps of the Stila. And let's do 2 pumps of the Fenty. I'm actually going to use a foundation brush today. I'm going to take the IT Cosmetics, the number 134. For concealer, I'm going to take this LA Colors Ultimate Cover Concealer. This is in the shade Honey. I've actually never tried this. I just bought this and I'm just going to apply this under the eye. So from what I've seen, or what is exclaimed, it's supposed to be full coverage. So let's see about that. It smells like paint. Love that. I'm just going to take the foundation brush again and just blend that out. Blends out really easy. Ooh, yeah, I think I really like that concealer. So then I'm just going to take the other end of this brush and I'm going to use that to blend out my under eye. Ooh, yeah, I think I really like this concealer. It really like brightened up everything. And it really like gave me like that natural contour. It is full coverage. It covered up my dark circles really easily. I will say this does feel like a more matte, I guess, formula, which is good. That means it'll stay. Now, to really know if this concealer is good, I'm actually going to take my Laura Mercier powder and I'm going to use that under my eye because I know how Laura Mercier works with all my other concealers. So if this does not work with my Laura Mercier, then it's going to be a problem. So I'm actually taking that on a Morphe 536 brush. It's just a nice domed brush. This is great for getting powder under the eye. It's also really good for blending in like cream products. So this brush you can use for like everything. The Laura Mercier worked perfectly on top of that concealer. So I know this concealer is going to be really good. It didn't crease or anything. So this is definitely a winner. And like I said, this is like $4. I bought it at Five Below. For the rest of my face, I'm just going to take my big old JH01 brush and just swirl in the cap here and just set the rest of my face. So let's put some bronzer on. So I actually have my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer here. I'm going to take that actually on the same JH01 brush, fully coat it, and then just start stamping that into the outer edges of my face. I'm not necessarily wanting like a contour. I just want like a really nice bronze since I feel like this foundation is a little light right now. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my hair actually is brown now. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but I did dye it brown only because I was tired of the black. I have never like dyed my hair before, so I was like, let's do something very subtle, and I dyed it brown. See how bronzer just gives you like life back? Like it just gives you that color. Well, at least this one does. This is actually the Mineralized skin finish, so it's like that baked formula, but in the shade Give Me Sun. Before we move on to the rest of the face, let's finish the eyes. So of course I'm going to take my trusty JH40 brush, dip into the orange that we used in the crease, and run that underneath the lower lash line. So I did pop on a gray eyeliner in my waterline. I thought that would make like the orange pop instead of like a black, and I was right. And then right on the edges, I'm going to take the red color and smoke that out into the outer edge. This is actually starting to look a little bit like my Jaclyn Hill Morphe video, but I swear I went a different direction. I feel like I'm gonna film a few videos with this palette because I feel like I heard about this palette because it was a big old drama. I don't think it's necessarily something that is talked about anymore, or I thought was even on the market anymore, because I actually looked on the website and it's not even on the website. There was like a bundle that you were able to purchase before, and I'll pop that in right here. But as for actually being able to purchase this on Wet n Wild's website, you can't. The fact that I found this randomly shopping at Walmart was a little bit astounding to me. Like I said, if this looks a little bit too similar to my Jaclyn Hill video, I'm going to be filming a couple more because I really want to explore this palette, because I think it's a really cool concept to get 40 shades for $15. Now, we're no strangers, of course, to big palettes being affordable now. Like, Morphe has their 35 pan palettes. Those are about like $25. BH Cosmetics also has a bigger palette that I feel is a little bit more affordable. I don't know the exact price of that. I'll shoot that up here. But nonetheless, 40 shades for $15, and I feel it's a little bit almost unheard of, at least at this quality. I'm going to pop on a little bit of Lower Lash Mascara. I'm going to use the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara because it has this nice tapered wand. For blush, I'm going to take Clinique Sunset Glow because it is more of a bronzy blush. So I think it'll match the look a lot better. Oh, I do have a really bad breakout right there. And this bronzer has a little bit of shimmer in it, so it's definitely going to emphasize that, but you know, that's just what happens sometimes. Oh, and I'm taking that on my Lancome blush brush. Now for highlighter, I'm going to take this Milani palette, and I think this gold in here will really complement the look. I'm going to take that on my Anastasia A23 highlighting brush. So I'm not going to carry my highlight too far over here since I do have a really bad breakout. Now all that's left is lips. So I'm going to take, this is an Estee Lauder gloss in the color Bronze Idol. And I don't think I even want to like line my lips or anything. I'm just going to take this gloss and just put this on because I want the eye look to really speak for itself. This is just like a, yeah, this is just like a nice nude. Yeah, see, I love that. That kind of just like almost like muted out my lips, but gave me a lot of shine. These Estee Lauder glosses are some of my favorite. These are the Pure Envy Kissable Lip Shine. Like Kylie's lip gloss formula, they do come on a little brush, but of course this one is not fraying and I don't have to throw this in the trash. So, love that. Now I'm just going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray and set my face. And now the look is complete. So, I love the way the eyeshadow came out. I'm going to take the palette. I'm actually going to grab a couple shades that I want to swatch. In this video, I'm not going to swatch the whole palette, but maybe in a future video, if you'd like, I'll swatch the whole thing. But for right now, I'm just going to take a couple shades out of this. I'm going to dip into this green metallic. Oh, it feels... I mean, it feels very soft. I'm getting the color payoff. I'm also going to dip into, ooh, I want this like burgundy. Oh yeah, see, these are feeling amazing. I'm going to actually swatch that shade we put in my inner corner because I thought it was more champagne, but it turned out to be a little bit more icy. And let's do another matte. Let's do this blue matte right here. So I have to do this gold. It's like staring at me in the face. I have no product on my hands, so I'm just going to swatch. Oh my god, look at that. Yeah, that is a good formula. So this is the matte burgundy. Oh yeah, see, that's really good. This is the highlighter shade I put in my inner corner. Oh yeah, I guess it is more of an icy white. Does have like a lot of sparkle in it. And then the dark blue. See, yeah, these are good. This is like a really good formula. Granted, the way that an eyeshadow swatches isn't really how it's going to look on the eye. So I always, of course, want to battle it out on the eye because I feel like that's where it really counts. I am very happy that I purchased this palette. I think I am going to get a lot of use out of it, especially since it's a very colorful palette. I feel like you have everything in here from, of course, like I said, neutrals, your more pinks, you even have more of the blue greens, but I think this is going to be like a very versatile palette that you can get so much use out of. The only shade that of course gave me trouble was that orange metallic shade, but I mean, I haven't tried the whole palette, but just from first impressions, that metallic orange shade isn't going to be my favorite. It does look really pretty on the eyes, I will say. My Lauder X Stila Power Play lashes, these are just a little wispy, very pretty, so I wanted to show off the eyeshadow look. The matte shades blended out perfectly. I can't say anything about those. The other metallic rust shade went on very easily, didn't give me any trouble at all. So I feel like overall, this is going to be an amazing find. If you can find this, I would say snatch it up. I don't see why you wouldn't, since it's such an affordable price point. I will link the bundle that I saw on Wet n Wild's website, but I think it actually is sold out. And if you look on Wet n Wild's website, like actually go scroll, you're not gonna find this palette. So I don't know exactly where to find it other than, like I said, I found it at Walmart. If I do find the Walmart link, I'll link it down below as well. If you happen to be walking around the Walmart beauty aisle and see this, snatch it up. Don't even think about it, just grab it. So guys, comment down below which color story do you want me to play with next? Do you want me to go with more of like the pinks, or do you want me to hit these blue teal colors? Do you want me to do more of a neutral? There is endless possibilities with this palette, so comment down below. Tell me what you want me to do. So please subscribe, like, and share to see future videos on this Wet n Wild palette, as well as any other videos that I seem to come out with in the future. I never say this, but go ahead and hit the bell notification to get notified whenever I post. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.